deposited on the front step, as if she were no more important than the piles of clothing some parishioners left when their children had outgrown them. Like worn dresses and overalls, Polly had been discarded. Unaware of the turns Evelyn's thoughts had taken, Polly grinned.
I know how. I watched you. You gotta stir, stir, stir.
That's right. You're a smart girl.
My daddy said that too. He said I was the smartest girl in the whole county, and that I was worth more than 1,000 bales of cotton.
Polly's smile turned upside down, reminding Evelyn of the story she'd told about her father being put in a box in the ground. Evelyn was all too familiar with those boxes, but she'd been fortunate enough to have her parents with her for 13 years before the night when everything changed. Polly was only 6, or so she said. Think about Polly, Evelyn told herself, not the night when it had rained hard enough to muffle her screams from passers-by. The sheriff had told her he'd arrested and hanged the man responsible. He'd assured her she had no reason to fear, and yet she did. 10 years wasn't long enough to erase the memories, particularly when she could feel someone watching her.
I miss my daddy.
Tears welled in Polly's eyes.
I want him to come back.
I know you do. Despite her nod, tears began to trickle down Polly's cheeks.
Buster said some girls get new daddies. He said people come looking for good little girls.
She looked up at Evelyn, pleading in her eyes.
I've been good, haven't I?
You've been very good, Evelyn reassured her. But that wouldn't be enough. 3 couples had come to the orphanage since Polly's arrival, and all 3 had been unwilling to adopt a child with such a prominent birthmark. It's Satan's mark, one woman had announced. When she'd heard that, Evelyn had been tempted to gouge the woman's cheek and give her her own mark.
I want a new daddy.
Polly was nothing if not persistent and stubborn. No matter how many times Evelyn and Mrs. Folger asked, she refused to tell them her last name.
I can't,
she insisted.
I can't.
Evelyn made a show of looking in every direction. I don't see any daddies here. Maybe if we sing, someone will hear us. As Polly's eyes brightened, Evelyn smiled. Singing would be a good distraction for both of them. And so they sang song after song. Neither of them could carry a tune, but that didn't bother them or Reginald. Evelyn imagined the gelding twitching his ears in time to their singing, and her spirits rose with each mile they traveled. Polly was once again cheerful. There was no rain in sight, and it would be another month before she had to return to Gilmorton. 3 reasons to give thanks. Her smile was as bright as Polly's until she saw it. It was only the slightest of limps, and yet Evelyn knew something was wrong. Unwilling to take any chances, she stopped the wagon and climbed out. A quick look at Reginald's front right leg confirmed her fears.
What's wrong?
Polly asked for the 2nd time since they'd left Gilmorton. Reginald's lost a shoe. Peering over the side of the wagon, Polly grinned.
I'll find it.
Evelyn shook her head. You need to stay in the wagon. Though the sun was past its zenith, the day was still warm enough that snakes could be out, and ever-curious Polly might reach for one. Evelyn glanced at Reginald's hoof one last time. There was no choice. She wouldn't risk permanent injury by having him pull the wagon all the way to Logansville. We're going back to Gilmorton. As much as she wished otherwise, it was closer.
Okay.
Polly watched wide-eyed as Evelyn unhooked the wagon.
What are you doing?
We need to leave the wagon here. Even though it meant that anyone coming by could steal the contents, she had to take the chance. Reginald can't pull it until he gets a new shoe. Evelyn lifted Polly out of the wagon and placed her on the horse's back. Hold on to the harness. Normally agreeable Polly turned petulant.
I want to walk with you.
Evelyn wouldn't argue. All right, but when you get tired, Reginald will be glad to carry you. The horse was exceptionally good with children, which was fortunate, given the number who called the orphanage home.
This is fun,
Polly exclaimed as she began to skip down the road. It was no longer fun by the time they reached Gilmorton.